What is the point?
There are a couple points here, Hugo. And those points all leading to one big old city known as Rio. Here in the RMR, or RTR rather. And that's not to be confused with Roll Tide Roll, because we can read, and we're not the Gakona type. We're talking about the road to Rio. That one's way above your 2 heads. So that's 2 heads piece. No, that's 4 heads total.
I got it, Trace, don't worry.
Well, we do have 4 heads, but on 2 people. And OC over here in middle, trying to get out, trying to have a bit of a say in this round. And now a mid to B looking to come through. And amongst all of this, Floppy's holding on over at long, and he's doing more than holding on, but this B play has been shut down by Ryan, delivering 3 stellar kills, and Mihu never even went check. Now, Floppy was meant to be lurking here at long. He was meant to be cutting off rotations. Well, now the whole round falls onto his shoulders, and he's making a pretty convincing case of it. 3 kills for him, and he's got to go toe-to-toe with Mihu now. This bomb dropped inside of the B site. Mihu is repositioned down to CT, and I kind of love this because if you listen very, very closely, you can hear that he heard those footsteps of Floppy rotating through the catwalk. So Mihu has a very good idea of where Floppy might be. And Floppy, if he goes into these mid doors, the timing's a little bit awkward, but Mihu will get the kill delivered to him. MV find themselves the pistol round, and they're going to go 1-0 up.
Floppy just had the classic case of pre-aiming a position and then walking around the corner as the player from that position goes wide on you. And if Floppy was going to check it, but instead Mihu just beats him to the punch. Great round, and I love the reposition from Mihu going lower as well, right? Not playing the bomb. He knows he can cut Floppy off. He can at bare minimum hear him, even if he doesn't see him. So good round from MV. Cloud9 now putting a bit of money into play. They've got some pistols. They've got some utility. They are, of course, saving for round number 3. Pop through the doors. Cloud9 setting up for a mid-to-B play. What's this Molotov for, I wonder? He's going to go into spawn to deny a player on that boost box position. Mihu gets first blood, and Calix, he gets a lot of blood, but some of it his as the Glocks overwhelm him inside of the site. Floppy gets a second, and the bomb gets planted. This is a great round for Cloud9, given the investment. They have set this round around getting the bomb plant, and that's why the utility was bought. Let's see what they can do in the post plant.
Yeah, now's the time for them to hold on to what they've got. Because we're not even halfway there, ladies and gentlemen. Cloud9 with the bomb planted in the B site. And NB look for the retake. Ryan in through the window. Mihal's going to go ahead and take down JT, but here's a chance for Floppy. And by chance, I mean that's going to go out almost as fast as it came in. Defuse going to come in for NB. And we're going to see them continue to stack rounds. 2-0.
Yeah, a bit of a sigh of relief there for MB, right? They're able to deal with that post plant and only lose 1 man in amongst it all. Now, they're probably not too chuffed that it got to that point in time. But whatever, it's in the past. And, you know, now they've got this investment coming in over on the side of Cloud9. The bomb plant has helped allow this AWP buy to come through with all the bells and whistles behind it. OC was already saving a bit of extra cash as well. And you'll note there's not an AWP for MV to play around with. Now, early on, smoke gets dropped over towards long, and that's going to allow Ryan to cross down into the pit. So he gets set up there, and he does have Nifty alongside him. Cloud9 not looking to have anything to do with long, instead want to try and contest this middle area of the map. And MV don't have anyone holding for this.
Oh, Envy, are they going to push Dark? They have just decided to group up in the tunnels, and Calix and Moose are going on a bit of an expedition. This is so well timed, and doing it together means they can trade if they run into enemies. They don't, but that's information. Envy now know that the top tons are clear. Sonic going to come back to try and get into position, but now there's only 1 man here, and he will hit the shot. Moose winning that battle and smoking it off, not letting Cloud9 bail, and that's what they wanted to do, potentially falling back into a B play here. It's now swept, it's now unavailable, and they have to commit behind these smokes. Warp is here for OC. The flashes go over. And they're going to try and drop someone into spawn. Nifty's ready for it. He doesn't let them get away with that. And Ryan drops another. Mihu gone from Goose, and Nifty, he is loose. Looking to tie this round together. Calix on the flank might do it on his own, and he's done exactly that. OC finds Nifty on the ramp, but it is the man in the back line that will save the AWP.
Yeah, you see what Moose does there in upper. He gets that fight, he drops a smoke, as Hugo says, and as we saw. And that really does limit the options there of Cloud9. They can't really go out middle safely. They'd have to spend a whole effort on that, and then going up Cat seems like the most viable option. However, it's Envy who are entrenched in the site and who pick up the round. How do you throw your Xbox smokes? Because that's how I throw mine. Just want to know if I'm weird like that or what's the deal.
No, I like that. There's a few. There's a really good one that you throw down just from spawn. Like you, I don't know the lineup, but you basically just throw it through mid. You aim at one of the things down suicide. Either way. That's the fastest one I know, Trace. But right now, Cloud9, they're trying to show us some speed of their own. Steadfast in the moment, but I imagine this will pick up in pace and into the AWP they go. Nifty with a second. JT found the entry, but past that point, Cloud9 aren't passing many points. They are just getting mowed down. Nice shot from Modern. It's Dink though, and down to 12 will be finished by the pistol. It's 3 from Nifty. Not quite 50, but it will be a 4th on the board for Envy, and they are more than happy with that.
Yeah, Envy looking to wrap this one up. No extra tomatoes on the inside. Nobody likes that, do they, Harry?
No, they don't. And yeah, if any carrots were to find their way in there, they probably wouldn't like that either.
Probably not.
Doesn't belong in a wrap. Cloud9 gonna look for some presence over here towards long side, and they do find the opener. Mom at a good spawn to get a kill off with that AWP, and he does best Ryan. Nifty now having to concede this long control, and bit of a dilemma as to who's going to boost who, but it ends up being Mihu getting thrown up into the bomb site. Cloud9, they've done the El Clasico of getting their AWPer set up in the pit, and you'll see this long sight line now being taken. Forces players from the Envy side to set up for a defense from Catwalk and CT. But Envy, they seem to have read this situation well. They group everyone up. They know exactly what's going on. Nifty catches JT on the cross. And this is a pretty good spot to be in, especially with that kill now getting found onto Floppy on this lurk. A man advantage for Envy in the retake. And when you think about how Cloud9 had set up for this round, it's very impressive that Envy have still not dropped a player outside of Ryan as the opener. Every adjustment has been perfect thus far. Sonic goes straight out into the open and gets caught by the AWP of Nifty, and now it is just OC left. He's really got to put on a bit of a clinic here. And while Nifty is in with the kill, Cloud9 not able to convert that round despite getting the opener and a path into the A bomb site. It's a stellar read and reposition from Envy, just winning every fight they had to turn that back in their favor. And then they just kind of wait, like knowing the pressure's on Cloud9, they wait for the kills to come to them. This was the kill onto JT on the cross. That's nuts. I didn't realize it was through smoke when that kill came in.
I also look at this and I say, okay, well, for Envy, Moose, you know, he's only got 3 kills. But I'm seeing him all over the map in the right places. You know, I'm seeing him at those crucial choke points, those pivotal points of a round, and he's at the right place to find the frags necessary. So what I'm trying to say is he's getting impact.
And that's what you like to see. I mean, the proof is in the pudding, Trace. 5-0 right now for Envy. They are more than working this map. Cloud9, though, looking to get their first round on the board. It's a fast mid to B, out of spawn as well. The Tunnels players already throwing in utility to B to try and draw attention. Mihu is just waiting, and he doesn't have any problem dealing with the 2 players up mid. Now it's up to the Tunnels play, and Calix has got the same. This double European B bomb site setup is just easy peasy lemon squeezy for Envy, and they don't even sweat as they take down Cloud9 with only a single casualty.
Cloud9 not currently having too much fun. I do know the feeling that they have. Money's low. Could technically buy some AKs, some stuff. But overall, it's not feeling too great here for Cloud9 now, is it, Harry Russell?
No, it's not. You know, this is an all too familiar feeling, and not one that you envy on the Cloud9 side. Now, didn't intend for there to be a pun there. Floppy, not going to really get stuck in. Runs down through middle. And now, going towards B. Oh, Cloud9, Calix, ready, and waiting.
All right.
Maybe not not doing that much waiting now, as Floppy has very much opened this round up for the Cloud9 side. OC as well, even trying to... Oh, that's lovely. OC, I love to see it. Cloud9, first round on the board.
How is that their first round on the board?
I don't really know. I don't get it. I don't understand how this Cloud9 works, but I kind of like it at the same time.
Fun, isn't it?
It's weird. Like, they just seem to win from nowhere. Like, what is this? Where's this come from? OC hasn't done anything in this game thus far that would, like, just let us know that he's going to drop 3 with the Deeg with back-to-back 180s in middle. But of course, that's how Cloud9 find their first round. And now, as was the case back on Nuke, can they build around it, right? You can't just get a one and done at this point. You do need to start to build up a bit of a portfolio of rounds here on the Cloud9 side. And no one's checked for Mihu. Motum does flick back around and offers up that trade. Now, the awkward part is Ryan was just kind of like an expense at that point, right? Like, they'd already written him off down in the pit.
And they don't have control of the bomb, but Cloud9 do not know that. OC is just posted up in the corner, potentially waiting for someone to fall into his crosshairs from the car side. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, it's Moose, again with a push of his own. And Sonic showing some shoulders here on the catwalk is really going to regret that when Nifty finds him with the AWP. The bomb has been recovered, and the final 2 players for Cloud9 are at long. JT and OC, the last hope for Cloud9 in round number 8. I set on long A. They're going to start to work their way up. Nifty finding himself at quad, not to be confused with Gandalf. But here we go. They're going to get the cross in, and we're going to see what they've got to offer.
Yeah, some wizardry potentially from Nifty at this position. He's not going to be able to stop the bomb, but as OC stands up, his arm is exposed, and Nifty take an arm and a leg. As JT's now left in a clutch. 1-on-3, and immediate kill. Does take a second, and sometimes that bit of hesitation goes a long way. Further damage done by Calyx, finished off by Moose, and Envy get up 7-1 on the CT side. Cloud9, hey, they may have been dominant on the CT half of Nuke, but this is a whole different stomp. Envy looking really, really good on this map right now.
Yeah, this is the Envy you expected to see run around on Nuke, but, you know, here we are, 9 rounds in. And looking onward, not necessarily from the clouds, but somewhere, I'm sure, Shroud9 wondering where it all went wrong, really, here for what we're seeing from Cloud9 right now.
Yeah, and is there a solution? The flashes out long might be the plan here. There's no one to stop them. Envy are forced back by the flashes, and you're never really going to fight through that unless you have, you know, a serious amount of numbers there, or a reason to believe you're going to get a kill. Envy don't. They set up with a double-man setup. Flash, though, again, a problem. And Envy, do they want to post up again? They could be walking into an AWP, and so they decide once more to fall back a further stage, let Cloud9 get closer. These long cross smokes going out, one on the fly, and a flashbang high. JT going to go for it. The grenade, it's good, but the flashes are back for Envy. They're going to look to force fights. Trade is in, AWP is in, and oh dear, it's Dink immediately onto OC. Mihu now has to stand tall. He's got one, doubled it with a bomb. OC on his own, and he's got nothing to do. They're just going to face him. He even gets a kill, but it's immediately traded, and Nifty flicks back to the spawn to close the round for Envy.
Wow.
Yeah, for Cloud9, right, I think one of the problems they're having is they're trying to keep it like nice and simple, trying to play around this long control that they've been able to get. But the problem is there's not really like much being left to the imagination for Envy right now. That is another round where on the back of seeing long control fall, Envy just immediately rotate everyone down into CT and catwalk, right? And so at that point, Cloud9 are walking in to a stacked bomb site. And this is where, you know, usually you see teams on the T side and they'll start a round off by trying to get that long control. You set the AWPer up down in the pit. There's like a minute and a half left on the clock by the time you get it. And the AWP, the benefit to having him at long is that he can hold that entire angle on his own. That then frees up the rest of the team to go around and look to establish this default, right? You try and keep the CTs out of the tunnels. You try and deny them that information. You try and contest mid, maybe even open up a catwalk split, right? So that you can lower the effectiveness of this response from losing long control. And that's just not happening right now for Cloud9. It is just they take long, they try and hit it, Envy rotate everyone round, And Envy win the round on the back of it. Yeah. So it might fall back into one of these B plays early on into this one. They try and establish this default in this round, but already some questions being raised as Nifty and Me, who both get aggressive and are rewarded for it. All across the board, the aggression was coming in. But aggression's good up until a point. And that is what Team Envy learned the hard way in this round. It is immediately equalized back into a 2-on-2 in the blink of an eye, within milliseconds of all of these fights getting won for the Envy side. And now OC and Floppy in a 2-on-2, they've grouped up, they're down in lower tunnels. There's a timing here and a missed shot from OC, but Ryan is trapped.
Oh, the molly, it misses as well. The shot and the Molotov. Cloud9 can't catch a break, and now they're just going to break for the bomb site. Running into B, Moose is trying to beat them to it, but he's realized he's out of this one. Going to try and play timing. Oh, that was a messy play. Bit of a swing and a miss from Moose.
Yeah, and you look at this, you say, well, Moose goes for the fight, 2v2 situation. Ryan wasn't anywhere nearby to get the trades or even make that a fair fight. So Moose goes down pretty much with nothing to show for it. Now in a one-on-one, Ryan and OC, he does hit the head, but it's OC with the deagle, and all he needed to do was fire that op off instead. So a second one there for Cloud9.
Yeah, that's a great call for Envy. I like the idea, right? Like Cloud9, they go for a big tactical pause, they wait, they set their plan, and then Envy just rush mid with 2. And they make things hard, they get some kills, but Harry makes a great point where he says aggression is good to a point. Envy gets stuck in those fights, and if he gets tapped in a 3-on-2 from T-spawn, Floppy kills him while OC opens B, and then suddenly it goes from 4-on-2 to 2-on-2, and Cloud9 are back in control with the bomb under their hands as well. So that's when they're favored and they close it out. But yeah, I like the idea from Envy. It doesn't work in the long term, but at least gets them into a good situation that they do indeed bottle. And now with that happening, Cloud9, they could build into this game. We've seen comebacks across both maps, across both teams, and this could be one of them.
Yeah, one of the other things that's like awkward about those rounds where you go for like the hyper-aggressive plays is like, you know, you can sometimes feel like you want to keep that momentum going, right? Like you don't want to take put the brakes on because you're worried that will give the space to Cloud9. But then it's like in hindsight, when you look back at that round, having let it gone through the net, you sit there and you do think, man, if we just not taken all the, and then that's where, you know, the seed of doubt comes in, and
the what ifs,
you can get it. Yeah, exactly, right. And some rounds, you know, like it's very easy to think about, oh, what if, but like with the knowledge that you had and kind of the options that were available, you kind of justify it to yourself. Like, yeah, it was the best thing for us to be doing and it just didn't work. But that is one that's going to sting for Envy. That's a round that they had in the bag and it gets away from them. And a very important round at that, because it's left them on eco now into round number 11. And this is a pretty, like, horrible spot, because now if you're Envy, you're thinking, have we just let Cloud9 back into this? Or are the USPs going to come in swinging and surprise us? Nifty somehow besting a man at Catwalk, but Floppy, he says, nah, not for this USP life. I'm ready, and I'm waiting, and this round's over.
Yeah, I praise the rains down in Africa. Little Toto for everyone.
I'm really happy that you bailed me out with a bit of Toto. That is
something
like
had to make it worse than it already
really
was for
did,
you.
yeah. Thank you, Trace.
Now let's all get together here, Twitch chat. Sing it with me. I'm kidding. Let's not do that. However, we can note that Cloud9 putting some rounds on the board will help the war effort, Hugo.
Yeah, supplies are inbound, and well, not for Envy, only for Cloud9. It's more pistols, more poverty for the CTs as Cloud9 get into a position where they can come back. Nifty throws a little nifty smoke in middle. It means he can cross towards the lower, and means Cloud9 have to be ready for that. So Molotov goes into the position, and Nifty's just hanging around anyway. He's not doing anything aggressive or extreme. And he will wait out that smoke as it fades. Rest of Envy pushing along. Oh, Motum. He's got to have seen something. Look at the angles he's looking at. Flash goes over. He hits a shot as it pops. Moose is gone, and JT can follow up and trade. He even defends. No trade needed. Cloud9 are not losing players in this round. Motum spotted the last player at long, and Nifty is still hanging around in mid, hoping for something to come his way. Well, that's all that we're waiting for in this one.
Ooh. Oh, he hears the footstep. Oh, and now they see him. They know. That's a fourth on the board for Cloud9. And this is why giving away that 4-on-2 is going to sting so much. It's effectively been 3 rounds found for Cloud9. I mean, it's not effective. It has been 3 rounds found for Cloud9 on the back of it. And so suddenly, you know, a 4-8 game with some confidence building in the Cloud9 camp, they can still get back into this. And for Envy, these repercussions of giving up a couple of rounds are going to continue to be felt for the rest of this half, right? You're 13 rounds in, and your money is going to constantly be in this rough spot if you don't right your wrongs and pick a round up here and now. A bit of an exchange over here towards long. No kill found on the back of it. OC just peels away, rejoins the rest of the crew over here in mid, and it's looking like a mid to B play, but Envy have got 3 players over at this side of the map.
Oh, Mihu, he's got a lot of value from this position before, and they're not going to check it again, but it's only damage for the second round. The Molotov finishes off the job to Floppy. Entry to B through the smoke, and Sonic has found 2. This is crazy. Once again, Cloud9 making it happen. Bomb planted. Envy, they're going to make that decision. Do they want to stay or do they want to go? Nifty is hoping for a kill to come his way in middle. That's not the case. It's all going to rely on Ryan in the tunnels, and he's doubled back. That would have been a fight onto the AWP, and instead it might just be a save for Envy. Probably the right choice. If Ryan walks into OC, scoped up on his position, he might have lost his life. So Cloud9 up to 5. They're building. They are coming alive. This 8-1 scoreline is closed up well and truly. They might be able to win out the half, because if we look at the money of Envy, they have nothing around these 2 guns.
Yeah, those cash reserves even, have been drained.
Open the register.
Give it a loot!
Well, right now, there's no loot to give. Envy, they got 3K a player, and they are not feeling pretty. Moose hiding in the smoke in that replay. His hand's sticking out. Probably keep them by your side next time. The buy is going to come through. Envy's just going to commit to it, right? They got loss bonus, and they're going to take hits like the UMP here on the likes of Moose. Guns given over, though. Let's see what they can do with it.
Yeah, they cap boosted in this round. They boosted up 2 players, and that will allow Nifty to get boosted over on short side by Mihu. He didn't find the kill from it. The flashbang was good from Cloud9. OC is actually the AWP to ring out and open this round up, and he's opened it up in a very big way, almost securing this B bomb site. Calyx has come rotating in, but at the very, very least, it's throwing this CT default into a bit of disarray, and it's left him with a couple of weak areas on the map. Now, Mihu tries to aggress at Catwalk just to get a bit of information for his troubles. But that leads to him going down, and as does everyone else from this MV side. Calyx is the last man remaining, and while he does remove the AWP, a 1v4 is still required, and that is not something he feels up to the task of. He'll back up into the B bomb site, trying to save, but they know the name of the save game. And they find him.
Yes, they certainly do. Last round of the half, and while Cloud9 cannot win the half, they could sit a little bit more comfortable going into the second if they put 7 on the board.
Yeah, at least Envy have enough here for this buy, right? Just enough. I mean, no AWP, we've got scouts in play, but make the best of what you got, and, well, an 8-1 lead that might be an 8-7 after all. Quite the recovery of Cloud9. Resilience has really been the key point for both rosters in this series. Let's see which one will come out on top. It's a fast approach. Cloud9 flashing up Catwalk, getting into position. Mihu's pushed off. It's got to drop towards CT. Envy are going to have to put some defense on this A bomb site now, with lots of pressure being put on by Cloud9. That bomb is still in the tunnels, but if you notice, Sonic is wrapping from spawn or from B through spawn back to them. No, he's going to double back. He actually trades his AWP out for an AK. Took an AWP for B for the pick. Nifty has picked up Floppy in middle. It's the first kill of this round. Motum going to burst out. The scout, though, is very versatile, and Nifty gets himself a second. OC will trade, and now Cloud9 just have to go for the mid to B. That's all they've got, and it's actually the best situation that they can really take here. There's only 1 man to deal with. The rest of Envy are stuck over towards A, and the sooner they do it, the better, because if they wait long, Ryan can just push long and flank. So Cloud9, they might want to group and just go for this hit, because right now, Envy want information.
Yeah, this play really is on a timer. And there Ryan coming in on this flank, as you mentioned. OC gets caught over here in middle, actually by Mihu pushing the Catwalk.
Oh, you're kidding.
Calyx, the moment he looks over at middle, got a little bit worried on the back of seeing OC in the mid doors, right, and that getting calm. JT delays this bomb plant to try and take a peek, and he spots a bunch of players in mid. Yeah, now we'll elect to get this bomb down. It's not a tunnels plant. And so Sonic's position in the tunnels is something that could hurt Cloud9. He's got to leave it with that smoke now falling on in to set up this crossfire with JT. Flash is going over. Envy try and storm on into this site, and they do get a player deep, but Sonic is more than ready. Wow. He's going to finish it off with 3, 4 in the round, and a 7th on the board for Cloud9. This third map has heated up seemingly from nowhere. Cloud9 and Envy neck and neck as we head into the last half of play. Join us after a quick break to catch the end of this quarterfinal.
Heart into something gold. No, I sold my soul to the devil long ago. I rode it all along on your wave right before it broke. Time was thrown down the well, so I let you go. Floating by your side.
A 7-1 lead has been fumbled, and ultimately we are on the lookout for the fugitives, but for the time being, it's still going to be Cloud9 and Envy featured here on Dust2 in the final map of this quarterfinal, the late hour. Currently for us, it's just a little past 1 a.m., but all you North American Counter-Strike fans out there rejoice, and that this series will be coming to a head right here. One of these teams will be moving on into the semifinals of this bracket to play Gen G. It's either going to be that or Envy of Cloud9 at the end of this. When we take a look at the GG.bet odds, they're going to tell a similar storyline as we do find ourselves at a pinnacle crossroads. Harry and Hugo are on the case. My best detectives, take it away.
We're on the case, we're on the mic, and well, Envy, they might be in the B site pretty fast at that as well. Floppy's got to do it all on his own, and he's been flashed out, dinked on the first peak, and his teammates are gone for the door. He does drop the bomb, and 2 more heads to follow. Floppy, that is ridiculous. He's still standing, he's still in the site, but not for long as Nifty says goodnight. Still a chance for Envy to make this round happen, and Nifty, oh, it's more than a reality at this point. Motum is now in the clutch. It is flipped, it is flopped back and forth, and finally it's Envy in control. They're going to close it. Moose with the final kill, and Envy take 9. This game is unbelievable.
It's all over the place, isn't it? We look at it, Harry, and we got to wonder, wow, where's this one going to go, man? And so far, with Floppy making plays like that, anything is possible. However, it is Envy that pick up the round, which is something to note going forward. 9-7. We just escaped that second pistol round of this third map, rather. And something about blessing rains all the way in Africa, blah, blah, blah. What can Cloud9 do now in this moment? Nice shot landed on the Nifty there with the scout. It's OC. He's going to hold his ground in middle.
Ooh. OC trying to get some mileage out of this scout. Now, Cloud9, they've got a great conversion in these 4 spies. Let's see if that holds true here. Oh, wow. You see why these Deagles look so deadly in the right hands. And, well, Motum shutting down 2 over at the B bomb site leaves a tagged up Nifty by this scout earlier on in the round in a 1v4. Might just be knocking on heaven's door here as he does deal with a man down in the lower tunnels. That's Sonic to get removed. Nifty, it's him who's got to go fast in this one. Just under a minute left on this clock and a lot on the plate. A 1v3 required now, down from a 1v4. All 3 players for Cloud9 bunkered up in this B bomb site, and they do not want to leave. They've got that bomb. They've got everything they could possibly need. And Nifty, what can he bring to the table here? Problem is,
nothing.
The moment they know where he is, the moment they see him, they just know, and they can all fixate on this one position. Nifty doesn't have time to like throw any little gimmicks in, right? Get a kill and rotate back around. He will catch Motum, jumping for the info. Yeah, he was, of course.
He was timing that. He was waiting till he heard a drop, and he knows which angle to peek.
Still reported, doesn't matter. 14 seconds on the clock, and now he looks to the window. He knows he's got to hit 2 quick shots in succession. Finds one, lines up for a second. OC with the scout, and being that Nifty was already tagged up below 50, well, he's going to have to pick it back up here in round number 18.
This guy, you know, he's had quite the career, and, you know, people like him, people don't like him, whatever. But I think you got to have some respect on this guy's name.
Well, why wouldn't people like him?
I'm not even going to, I'm not even going to try, Trace. I know you see your cheeky little smile looking at me. I'm not feeding into drama. I think this guy is individually very good, and he's leading this MV team to success right now. That's a fantastic grenade from OC. But yeah, wow! Like that was a really nice try at a 1-on-4. Makes it the 1-on-1. But right now, it's Cloud9 who need another one, and it might be up to 9. They go with an anti-eco that's clean as can be. Only a 1-man lost, and the gun's retrieved anyway. Cloud9 up to 9, and Envy back with the buy in a round's time.
Yes, NT is exchanged, but now still no weapons for Envy. We'll sit on our seesaw of rounds that goes back and forth.
OC's going to flash himself in for a mid-peak. I'm kind of liking how brave he's being over here in middle. Really not afraid to get stuck in. Mihu is trapped out here at long, and so it was only a matter of time until they found him. Now, all right. OC, dig down through the double doors, and now a weapon retrieved, or not quite actually, just kept out the hands of Envy. They're not able to grab it. Floppy comes in and deals with 2 in the meantime, and this leaves Moose and Nifty over at the B site, trying to get this bomb down. Rotations have already arrived, and JT was holding for that cross. A 10th round now appearing on the board for Cloud9 as they reach double digits first. An investment coming in for Envy, featuring the AWP on Nifty, rifles for everyone else. So we get to have a taste of a full buy on either side here in this second half. And this is going to be our first kind of litmus test for whether or not Envy can start to get back into the swing of things here in this second half.
So close. And again, a 7-1 score there, Hugo. That's 7 rounds.
I think
to
it was
one.
actually 8-1.
It was 8-1.
Excuse me.
It was even worse, Trace.
All the sweeter.
Yeah.
Bottom with the mid push here off a catwalk. He's going to catch some victims. Guaranteed. The flash is there, but Ryan is there with the kill. That does not go the way of Bottom.
Yeah, and Sonic steals the kill from lower as well from the hands of OC with the AWP. So, who's gone? Nifty's got to be careful. Luckily, it's him who gets tagged with the AWP, right? That's, you know, if someone's going to take damage, you want it to be your AWPer. That gun's still very, very good. Getting those one clicks, Trace. The old right, left.
Good night.
Yeah, it doesn't really work, does it?
The right, left, good night.
Yeah. Right click, left click. I mean, you can just go left, good night, but that also doesn't work. So either way, we'll move away from this metaphor. And Cloud9, they're not moving anywhere. They are entrenched in their positions. They are holding the line. And JT spotting long. That's maybe where this play is going to come through. Envy have 2 players outside their position, faking the mid early on, getting that utility out of Cloud9 and getting the attention of OC so they can climb up on the catwalk. It's an A split for Envy. JT, the first point of contact up on this A site. No flashes for long. Envy's just going to take dry fights here by the looks of things, and that is a dangerous decision. But against EMP9, they have the better weaponry. JT with the jiggle, and he is dead immediately. Good shot from Ryan. Envy trying to commit here. There's an AWP stuck on Car between both positions here. He's going to get a double, 2 for 1 in the damage. Moose is low. Here's the cat play. The timing is good for the scope, but the kill isn't there. OC trades, and it's down to low HP for Envy.
Yeah, look at this. Floppy's going straight up for it, rightfully so. Knows they're low, spins on a dime, finds Moose to end the round out. 11 for the Cloud9 team that could. Envy just on 9.
Yeah, stellar reactions from Cloud9 here, right? The moment that kill comes in onto Car, you've already got a player wrapping up in the form of OC to shut it all down. And this has left Team Envy with not much to work with here into round 21. OC continuing with his aggression in the mid doors, and he will find an early advantage here for Cloud9. Now this B play looking to come through, but with 2 players in mid, Floppy only has to hold the fort for a little bit here to allow for these rotations to come in. Ryan wastes no time on getting into this bomb site, and Calix will deal with another. That bomb out in the open now, looking to get planted for Team Envy, and they will start to plug in those numbers. It's Calix to do the honors. That Molotov, not actually going to find any damage. Calix, immune to fire, but even he might be feeling the heat in this round now. JT over in the window, looking like he wants to be this first man in. Smoke gonna fall to block off the tunnels, but Envy don't have anyone there. Cloud9, half the time has ticked off this bomb, and if they're gonna go, they've got to go through the doors thanks to that Molotov. Calix, they all flood in, and that is too many players for one man to deal with. Cloud9, they'll get that retake in, put a 12th on the board, and continue here on their CT side.
Yeah, Calix is a bit of a scavenger there. He finds 2 mollies in the site. The first one goes towards tunnels, which is obviously a problem because Cloud9 are planning on smoking it anyway. They don't want anything to do with that position. And you got to wonder if Calix threw that towards door and then threw the other molly in window or door later. It could have been a winnable round, potentially. But it was an eco, and Envy went into it 4 on 5 after they lost someone down mid. So still made that one a pretty profitable round, and they're going to be reaping the rewards here and now. AWP and guns behind it. Flashes towards long, but no one taking control. Cloud9, 4-man setup on A side very early on, leaving mid open, but that's going to be patched up by late rotates. As Cat gets taken, Ryan is joining Mihu here. And Cloud9 try to throw in some utility their way. Envy aren't that close though, so no real damage done by it. Re-smokes down, and the commitment here for Envy looking likely early in the round as well. They might drop a player into CT spawn. It's pretty standard. 2 go down, but there's 2 CTs there, plus Sonic with the AWP, and it is just mowed down for Cloud9. They run into the firing line. Nifty has to try and pull them out of this one, but even this, it may be too much for him. He's alone in a 1-on-4. Flick looks like he connects, but it does not. And Cloud9 up to 13.
Well, if Pro League and the road to Rio have taught us anything, it's what, Harry?
This game just might have some comeback potential on the MB side waiting in the tank yet, right? Cloud9, since getting into this CT half, things have been storming for them. They've been able to put the last 6 rounds together in a row. So certainly not the best look for Team MB. I'm not really hyping them up well here, but a tactical timeout as they try and discuss how they want to approach this next round, what they want to kind of bring to the table in it. They will have an investment. Might be lacking this AWP over in Nifty's hands. But other than that, they should have everything that they need. And I see, like, if you have the AWP, I feel like there's more you can do in this round. Because you can try and get, like, Nifty set up in the pit, right? You can spread out. You can take a bit of a default here. Not having that, something that could hurt Envy. And they will make this decision to go for the investment. Makes a lot of sense. You don't have many more left in the tank if this one ends up going in favor of Cloud9. So yeah, like, no more calls out of spawn. They've instead elected to try and take this default early on. Spreading out, taking this map control, denying any aggression in the tunnels. And starting to clear out mid as well. This time, OC not going aggressive on the Cloud9 side. Instead, this mid responsibility is fallen to Mott. And I feel like Envy are really hinging, trying to get this kill in mid, right? Like, you think about how much we've seen them facing on the Cloud9 side here. They've got 3 players grouped up in middle to hopefully trade this out if a kill comes in, and it's not going to. Instead, this AWP finds its way over on the A side of the map on the back of Sonic right now. OC does have one as well in the B bomb site. And with lower tunnels control getting given up, Envy might be looking to feign a mid to B play and then move back to this catwalk side. Alternatively, they could just commit. They could just full send it, and they will. They will try and get in. They leave catwalk now, and they try and hit this B site, but my word, that is not how they wanted it to go by any stretch of the imagination. Oh, that's a little bit of an ugly spray there from Nifty to find that 14th on the board for Cloud9. No money in the MB bank accounts, and Heartbreak Hotel is where they find themselves checking in right about now.
I would love to know what's being typed. Now, I imagine this has something to do with the timeout, obviously, but you can also imagine that these guys, well, they've spent some time playing this game with one another. And banter might be at an all-time high.
Yeah, or, you know, well...
straight trash talk. Who knows?
Maybe. That was ridiculous from Sonic. 2 shots through the smoke. Didn't see anyone. He fired 3 bullets. The first and the third connected. And, well, you love to see that. 14-9. It's been quite the streak from Cloud9. 7 in a row in the second half. And maybe 2 more to take us over the line. Envy, they've got a half buy here up against 14. That's never where you want to be. You shouldn't fully commit here, though. Have some, you know, faith in your rifle rounds. But even then, Envy, they haven't found one since the pistol.
We've had a tweet put out by a Mr. Jacob Pimp Winesh.
Jacob Pimp Winesh.
He's come in with the amount of mistakes teams like MB and Cloud9 make blow my mind. He's really just socked it to them here with that one. Obviously, he tweeted us using the hashtag Road to Rio, and you could do the same. The option is there. Obviously, you meant to use the hashtag ESL1, but Pimp's just made his own one up and really run with it.
Well, I use hashtag Road to Rio, but hashtag ESL1 is proper.
I think he's casting in Danish.
Which would make sense considering he is a Dane. Perhaps we'll get a word with him here on our show at some point. But for the meantime, it's the floppy show. What's he going to do inside of B? The big question, he lines up 2. Needs to shut down Envy right here, and that's going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. 1 more round separates Cloud9 from a semi-final appearance.
And Floppy's been so good at this B side of the map, man. Like, every time they've needed him to hold the fort, he has held the fort, and in a very big way, right? Once again, putting up great numbers. The thing is as well, Floppy is a lot of the time playing this same position inside of the site. It's a great spot to play, right? Because you can pick and choose your engagements on the left and right side of that tunnel, and you can try and separate them into like series of one-on-ones, and that's exactly what he's very, very proficient at doing. Also, B site anchor player sitting on 28 kills. You love to see it. You know, like, that's not an everyday occurrence. Now, Mottom has really pushed the boat out here. He is all the way in top mid. And so even as they're losing long, Mottom comes in and cuts down Nifty. Now, it doesn't just put this back into a 4-on-4, but he's got the bomb. And in the meantime, Sonic has dealt with Moose over at the long side of the map. This was a good start for Envy. They took a man advantage, but things have quickly turned sour here in round 25. Brian is putting up what resistance he can. And Cloud9, they keep feeding the beast. JT will at least get that trade, and we're back into a 2-on-2, a chance for Envy to keep the dream alive here on Dust. It falls to Calix and Mihu, the two EU imports here in this MB team, to keep them alive in this quarterfinal matchup. Sonic looking at Long, shuts down Mihu, and now all eyes are on Calix in a 1v2. Smoke down to try and get him across. Sonic holding from CT. JT's on a rotation from the B bomb site. And Calix will at the very, very least be afforded a bomb plant to give him a fighting chance here up against match, series, and semi-final point for Cloud9.
Oh, this is such a good spot. He's gone behind the car. He should be able to kill JT here. Last position he's going to expect. Sonic's been covering this spot the entire time, but now he's trapped. He's pinned. He's done the damage. Sonic low, jumping and hoping for a miracle. It's not going to happen. He needs to hit a perfect pre-fire shot. Car connection not coming through, and Calix has done it. He's saved it for Envy. The first rifle round they have had in this game, the first round they've had, or this half rather, the first round they've had since the pistol in this second half. And it has been a streak for Cloud9, finally drawn to a close. And I've got to say, Cloud9, they're a big fan of humiliating their opponents. While doing so, they humiliate themselves. Running 3 through the mid-door smoke, these guys just want to close this series. Cloud9 love playing this aggressive CT style, but it can dig you a hole. It can make things worse for you, right? You trade 2 for 1 down in that engagement when you have a 4-on-2. Like, you're about to close the series, you're about to go to the semis, and then you push smokes in mid. You know, you don't need to do that. Cloud9, I love the fire, I love the passion, but sometimes you need to know when to, you know, call a stop, call a pause, call a slowdown.
Yeah, when else have we seen a team give away a 4-on-2 that had some pretty resounding... Oh, Envy did it as well in the first half, right? So this has now been both teams having their little go at it in the CT side of play, and it is just one of those rounds where, unfortunately, you know, you try and keep the pressure on, you get really bogged down in going for those trades, and it ends up eluding you as a result. Now, this round might elude Cloud9 as well. They are in a 3-on-5. Motum tries to take matters into his own hands, and I don't know how he gets away. He goes back in.
Amazing.
And he burns himself to death. Well, but he takes Calix to the grave with him. Sonic and JT, it falls to the 2 South Africans for Cloud9, and Sonic missing that shot, getting pressured. Moose will remove him. JT, 1v3. Not an easy spot to be in. Still rounds to play around with here for Cloud9, and JT might have to consider that. He just backs off, looks to hold on to this M4. Envy, they're going to get an 11th round on the board. 4 away from overtime here in a third map.
And I asked you, Harry, and this, let's just say, is a living testament as to the question that was posed. And here we are, Cloud9. Dropping another round to Envy. Can Envy continue to mount this comeback towards a semi? Can they push it into OT at the very minimum? Things you have to consider if you're an Envy fan.
Can they make it a 4th map, Trace?
They possibly could. It all depends. Envy saving onto 3 weapons in that round, and we're going to look to see if Cloud9 can yet again close it out.
Look at this again from Motum. Back into the molly for a second shot, only to burn in it. And that was a smart play as well. He was sort of trapped in the corner, right? There's a world where he doesn't even get out to cross if he gets hunted down. So he might burn to... Sorry, Harry, I just kicked you. He might burn to the molly anyway. Oh,
we normally keep that hidden, but yeah, you know, Hugo...
Sorry, it really caught me off guard. I moved my leg and I just like stomp you. But yeah. Cloud9, they're the ones who've been stomping, at least most of this CT side. It finally will come to a close with 2 in a row for Envy, but while Cloud9's money is broken, their willpower probably is not.
Oh, well, it's actually Mihu who will power through over here towards short side and secure this A site for the rest of Team Envy. It's them looking to get a leg up in this round, and they certainly do. Now, that is a bit awkward. The bomb got dropped over in mid, but thankfully, it's kind of under control, and now it is fully under control, courtesy of Mihu. Getting a hat-trick in that round, 12 on the board now for Envy. Cloud9 in with a reinvestment, and they're going to have the AWPs out in full force. However, for Cloud9, this comeback, you can't deny it. You can feel it coming in for Envy, and their chances to put it to bed before we head to overtime are starting to run out. They're going to have this by... If they don't pick it up, they'll be onto a partial, and then they'll have one final investment before all is said and done. And OT, you know, we get our answer, whether or not we're heading to it, or whether or not Cloud9 lock in a semi-final here and now.
both of these orgs having hoisted major trophies once upon a time, now just looking to find semi-final footing in the North American bracket. Envy, of course, for the French side, and for Cloud9.
Young Stu and the crew.
Stu and the crew get it done in Boston. Floppy now going to get done from the pit. Hit long. He's going to find significant damage, and that might just be enough. It's going to leave 3 players alive for Envy. This could be it.
It could indeed. I like his teammates Flash as well, you know, setting Floppy up, not leaving on his own. Now there's no more utility. Floppy just has to fight till his death, and well, that might not even come if Floppy continues. He's on a third. Finally going to be put to rest. Sonic with the AWP at Car, and Envy. This is so rough. They're trapped at long, and Cloud9 know it. They've pushed B. Bottom is in T-spawn. Sonic shooting smokes as they fade. Moose fired a shot, but he will get taken down, and Nifty now has to do it all alone. The jump, he does actually manage to offset Sonic, but really past that point, this should be a Cloud9 round.
Yep.
Oh, and that's it. It's a Cloud9 series. It's a Cloud9 semi-final guarantee to face the might of Gen G. They're able to best team Envy here in a 3-map series, just about getting it over the line on Dust2. And as we just said, that means they'll go on to the semi-finals to face that Gen G squad. Join us in just a moment. We're going to break this down and talk about these standings and what it means within the NA division.